Okay, so the first step, just make sure you can get this. So you're gonna hook up the ventilator to the oxygen tank. Always want to make sure that you have a tank that is full because this is both the oxygen supply and the drive gas for the ventilator. This is the gas line. Can you see this? Okay. So this is the gas line. This gets, and see if you can you see the auxiliary right here? So this is the auxiliary port on the oxygen tank. This then gets simply screwed into place. Make sure that it is nice and tight. Then the setting needs to be turned to auxiliary. So you keep turning. It's the very last setting. So now you have a full tank that is hooked up on auxiliary. So now your drive gas is in place. Then store this back on the cart. Okay, so now got two components here. So this is the ventilator, and this is the battery pack. There are some instructions and some guidance as to what each of these buttons actually represents. Batteries should be fully charged once they are actually on here. If there's a problem with the power supply, this will need to come out, replaced with another battery pack, or just grab another ventilator. Ventilator has an on-off switch, which is actually right here, which says on and standby. So you will turn on the ventilator, and then this tells you same patient, and then you can turn this dial to toggle between new patient, and if it's a new patient, press select, and you can decide whether it is an infant, pediatric, or adult. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this off for a second. Just to show you then, so first we're gonna hook up, this is the disposable circuit that comes with the ventilator. So I'm gonna open this up. Let me come around this way. You probably want to come over here to this part of the ventilator. So this obviously is, so this is the patient Y end. As it relates to the ventilator, this is the business end right here. So right here is your gas outlet. This hooks directly onto the gas outlet. You'll then see that you have three connections here, a white, a yellow, and one with nothing. And actually, if you look on the ventilator right here, there's a flow and flow transducers and pressure sensors. And so then those just get hooked up as follows. The one with no connector goes on here. Yellow, which has a yellow lure lock, goes to yellow lure lock. White lure lock goes to white lure lock. There is a small isothermal adult extension that comes in the kit that then gets put in line with a filter. It's your typical filter. So you have a filter like so, and then the extension, which is going to go to the patient, actually goes. So this is what your setup will actually look like. Okay. And I'm going to hook this up to essentially a test lung here so we don't get any. All right, so now we can set this right here. So now again, we're going to turn this off. We're just going to put this to adult. So we're going to turn this on. Okay, same patient. We're just going to do this. So we're going to say new patient. We're going to select adult. Select. And you'll see our test lung right here will eventually inflate. So the low pressure is going off because this isn't inflated. To reset any of these, I'm going to silence that for a second. So if you want to set the rate, to reset any of these, this is now volume cycled. You press the button. You turn the dial however you want. I'll just leave it back at 12. And then press the button again. Volume. Say we want something higher. We'll go to 700. Again, volume. This is your inspiratory time. This is the oxygen concentration. We'll turn that down. Sensitivity, don't worry about that. And here's your high pressure limit, low pressure limit. Again, you can set that. I'm going to turn that down for right now. Low minute volume. Again, I'm going to turn that down for right now. And this is how this actually works. You'll see right here, you've also got, this is volume cycled. If you want to switch to pressure cycled, this is now switched to pressure cycled, and now this will, you can decide how much pressure you actually want in. So now this will just go to a pressure of 30. Want to select back to volume. Now this is back to volume as we had it set with a tidal volume of 700. You can, this is assist control. You can do SIMV, CPAP. I probably wouldn't worry about that too much. You do inspiratory, expiratory holds. Also wouldn't worry about that. Manual breath, don't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about these other two buttons. And then your PEEP, again, you just press the button. Turn up your PEEP, and there you have it. When you're done, after you've transported the patient, and the patient is then hooked up to the ICU ventilator, you hold the on-off button. To keep it from beeping, you need to then press the silence reset. You then take this, disconnect the circuit from the patient, disconnect the circuit from the machine. This is all disposable. And then the entirety of this circuit just goes into recycling or trash. And then you transport back downstairs for it to be cleaned.